Hello and a very good evening to you and welcome to Primetime News, coming to you live from our Newsfirst studios here in Colombo on TV1. I'm Shahin Jurong-Party. Let's take a look at your headlines tonight.
Fuel prices amended again. Malik Samaravikrama's response to corruption allegations behind the cover of parliamentary privileges. Was the Rajagiri flyover a waste of public funds? President meets Maldivian counterpart at airport. Rain affects first ODI in England's tour of Sri Lanka.
Now for those stories in detail. Though no one is aware of the pricing formula for fuel, prices of petrol and super diesel have been increased with effect from midnight tonight.
Issuing a release, the Ministry of Finance and Mass Media said a litre of 92-octane petrol has been increased by 6 rupees to 155 rupees from the current price of 149 rupees. A litre of 95-octane petrol has been increased by 8 rupees to 169 rupees from 161 rupees. The Finance Ministry added that the price of a litre of super diesel has been increased by 8 rupees to 141 rupees from 133 rupees. The price of auto diesel has not been increased and remains at 123 rupees.
The Ministry of Finance had stated on a number of occasions that the fuel price will be determined as per the price formula.
As per this pricing formula, the prices of fuel will change every 2 months. After the lapse of 2 months, the prices of fuel will change on the 5th of the 3rd month based on the average prices of the previous 2 months.
Will the price formula be presented to Parliament? Since when was it implemented? How many times have prices been increased? Is the fluctuation of the dollar taken into consideration when determining the price? Has the price formula been approved by the Cabinet? Prime Minister, I need a straight answer to these questions.
Cabinet approval was granted on the 11th of May 2018. A special committee was appointed to implement this on the 10th of June. We introduced this fuel pricing formula with the intention of providing relief to the people when fuel prices reduce. This happens in India on a daily basis. We don't have the technology required for that.
Those stories are irrelevant. I want a straight answer.
The technical aspect should be discussed with the subject minister. Today the barrel is 80 rupees and we aren't certain how much it will increase. It could increase up to 90 rupees in November. You can't exactly say how much it will increase.
Minister, the fuel pricing mechanism wasn't presented to the House. They said that this cannot be released under the Right to Information Act. That is why we are asking the Prime Minister if the formula will be presented to Parliament.
I don't have it. Get it from the minister.
B equals bond scam and C is for Arjuna. It doesn't matter. Just tell us how the pricing formula is made up and how the prices increase.
I came back to Sri Lanka this morning. In India, they don't ask how this is done, no matter what mechanism is applied.
Getting an answer from them is like asking for feathers from a tortoise. Fuel prices increase on the 10th. This is the people's money. Why isn't the formula that increases the price revealed? At least reduce the taxes on fuel if the dollar is increasing and maintain the fuel price at a stable level.
If you know what the formula is, why are you asking me? In Nigeria, even while having fuel, their prices are sometimes higher than ours.
Meanwhile, the opposition made a statement on the transactions of Sri Lanka cricket in Parliament today.
Our investigations being conducted into corruption in the sport of cricket. It was reported that $5 million was defrauded when handing out broadcasting rights. What are the investigations carried out in this regard?
The ICC investigations are classified. They don't give us that information. Our players are not involved in match fixing. The Criminal Investigations Department is conducting investigations into this financial fraud.
MP Anrukumara Dissanayake spoke of the attempt to deposit $5 million in a bank account in Hong Kong, but the minister, in his response, speaks of an investigation into allegations of match fixing. It is obvious that the attempt to deposit $5 million in a Hong Kong account does not fall under the ambit of investigations conducted by the ICC. Can the general public hold in their laughter in the face of these answers given by those who call themselves legal experts?
A meeting chaired by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa was held last night. Several members of parliament representing the joint opposition attended this meeting.
It was reported that the meeting had been called to discuss about forming a caretaker government.
ada මොකක්ද විශේෂ සාකච්ඡාවක් තියෙනවද? නෑ. අලුත් කිවිදුරෙක් දැක්ක රටටත් අලුත් කිවිදුරෙක් ගේන්න හදන්නේ මේ. අලුත් අය ලාගන්නේ හොඳයි ඉතින්. අනේ මන්දා. මොනවද වහන්නේ?
The meeting lasted for around 3 hours. I have publicly admitted that I will be a member of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna and not the SLFP. But the time has not come yet. When the auspicious time arrives, I will join.
මොකක්ද පක්ෂ කියනකො මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ මහත්තයාගේ
ශ්‍රී ලංකාව
මේ රටනේ වැරදි
රට
ඔබතුමා නොමග
රට තමයි පක්ෂේ
ඔබතුමා නොමග යවන්න හදන්නේ
අපි මම ඔයගලගේ ප්‍රශ්න වලට මම හිතන්නේ නොමග ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවා නේ
ඒකට ජනාධිපතිතුමා සහ හිටපු ජනාධිපතිතුමා අතර සාකච්ඡාව ගැන ඇහුවේ නැද්ද ඔබතුමාලා
නෑ ඒක මා
No, we did not discuss about that matter. Apart from what I heard from the media, I do not know about it. If that's what they like, it is good. Basil admitted he met with the president.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහතා කියන බැසිල් මහත්තයා තමයි අපේක්ෂක විදියට නම් කරොත් එතුමත් කැමතියි කියලා.
That is his stance. The other thing is, whoever is willing to be a candidate must be a citizen of this country.
එතනමයි නේ.
ආපෝ ඒක වෙනස් කරන්නේ
අද මොකද්ද මේ සාකච්ඡාව?
හොඳ කෑමක් කෑවා.
මොනවද කෑමක්ද?
ඉන්දියා පාපෝ කොදියුද?
ඔබතුමාගෙන් අපි මේ වගේ සරල පිළිතුරක් කවදාවත් රටේ මාධ්‍ය
What am I to say? I answered the question you asked me.
මොකද්ද ප්‍රශ්නේ කියන්නේ? දැන් හමුරාතේ උත්තර දුන්නේ.
අද මොකද්ද සාකච්ඡා කරන්නේ?
We discussed about the future appointments and about the toppling of the government, which everyone is talking about.
මත් කතා කරා.
ඒක තමයි වැදගත් මේක.
ඔය ඉතින් ඒකේ
Those are secrets. All our plans will go to waste if we reveal them, so I cannot discuss about it. It may look like a failure to them, but it is not for us. The only difference is we didn't get a high distinction.
නෑ ඉතින්
What is our responsibility? The opposition's responsibility is to topple the government. We are still discussing when and where we will topple the government. When the time is right, we will do it.
මොන වගේ ක්‍රමවේදයකටද
ඉතින් ඕනම ක්‍රමවේදයකින්
පතනා ජනාධිපතිතුමාත් එක්ක තමයි
ඔව් සාකච්ඡා කරනවා. ඉතින් කොච්චර සාකච්ඡා කළා තියෙනවද?
දැඩි කතාබහකට ලක් කරලා
නෑ ඒක විදිහට
No, not as much. This is my party and speaking to the General Secretary of the party is not a big deal. I speak with Ranil too.
මම රනිල් එක්ක කතා කරන්නේ.
Now, following are the reactions made in response to the statements made by former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa yesterday.
Toppling the government should be the priority. I do not know how it should be done, but I know that it should be done.
මේ වගේ බරපතල ප්‍රකාශ ආව
Statements of such serious nature should be looked into because it wasn't made by a justifiable individual. When a person like him, who previously held a top position, makes a statement saying this government needs to be chased, but I do not know how to do it, it should be definitely looked into. It is not like he is unaware of the constitution and the laws that govern this country. So it is quite a serious concern when such a person comes before the media and speaks about toppling government, despite knowing how a government should be changed.
පෙරලන්න ඕනේ ක්‍රමය දැනගෙන මේක කොහොම හරි එලවන්න ඕනේ කියලා කියන එක ඉතාම බරපතල ප්‍රකාශයක්.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ එවැනි ප්‍රකාශයක් කරනවා නම් ඔහුගේ ඉතිහාස භාවිතාවත් එක්ක
When Gotabaya makes a statement like that, this gives rise to a reasonable doubt among the society as to how it would be done. We know that all the statements made by him have a military shadow behind it. He possesses the political power he created through the military powers he previously had, and this is what he used to make this statement. He has immense power with him. Mahinda Rajapaksa somehow wants to create a platform for Namal Rajapaksa. I think Namal Rajapaksa is the one who is afraid the most of Gotabaya Rajapaksa coming. They know about Gotabaya Rajapaksa's behavior more than we do. The fight is among them.
ඔවුන් එකිනෙකා අතර තමයි මේ ගැටුම තියෙන්නේ.
Gotabaya Rajapaksa is the kind who used the army to bathe the dogs, look after houses and pin saris. Wonder if he is under the impression that the entire tri-forces are with him, because we don't see anything like that. He's in a state of confusion. He wanted to be the president and now he has lost the opportunity to even be a candidate. You usually hold the mic at them when they come out of certain places. All they do is say something and go back to their homes and do nothing. They then come back to courts and say something to the mics held there as well. They are both the same person, be it a voice cut given at the temple or otherwise.
Minister of Development Strategies and International Trade Malik Samaravikrama made a statement in Parliament today.
I wish to inform you that there seems to be a targeted attempt by certain sections of the social media and an electronic media channel in particular to discredit me. While I was in Germany on official work about 10 days ago, I was made to understand that the director of Ceylon High Speed Railway Limited, a company who had sent a proposal to the Board of Investment to produce and export high-speed trains, has accused the State Minister and myself of requesting for a commission of $25 million to have the project proposal approved. This is a totally false allegation. At no stage do the ministers get involved in the approval process. Again, Honourable Deputy Speaker, last week the same media institutions alleged that a sum of 150 million, that is 1,500 lakhs, had been received to be credited to my bank account, and the central bank had frozen the funds. This is again a totally false allegation. I have checked with the central bank and I am informed that no such funds have been received to be credited to any one of the cabinet ministers' accounts. Deputy Speaker, is this the media freedom that we wanted? This is nothing but freedom of the wild ass. I request you to kindly take necessary steps to prevent members of Parliament being insulted and defamed by irresponsible media coming out with fake news.
Minister, if the cap fits, wear it. We, however, have a serious question. Please have a close look at the views expressed by the Governor of the Central Bank himself when Newsfirst questioned him about the 150 million rupees.
I do not know if it's true or false, but I can tell you this. Although the Financial Intelligence Unit comes under the Central Bank, it operates independently. They will make their inquiries and I won't even know. I do not know about the suspicious transactions. The Governor of the Central Bank may be the Chairman of the National Coordination Committee of Anti-Money Laundering and Countering Financing of Terrorism, but I cannot interfere into this.
If the Governor of the Central Bank cannot obtain the details of this transaction from the Financial Intelligence Unit, which comes under him, how can Minister Malik Samaravikrama obtain those details? If you can control various matters within the Central Bank to this extent, it is not difficult for the people to understand your involvement in the Central Bank bond scam. After all, you were present at a breakfast meeting on the 26th of February 2015 without holding any ministerial position. You were merely the party chairman. The statement made by you today at Parliament is quite adequate for the people to comprehend the pressure that you may have excreted back in the day to cover up the bond scam. It should also be brought to the notice of the public that there is no accurate information about the 150 million rupees provided. The delay is more than sufficient to terminate the account, delete the data from the system, or even to misplace all the relevant data. Another example should be the $5 million that should have been received by Sri Lanka Cricket for broadcasting rights being transferred into an account in Hong Kong. The ministers and the people responsible decided to hand over the investigations of this to the FCID instead of the CID. The 24-hour delay was again more than sufficient to delete the relevant data. And finally, they made this look like a computer hacking. The civil movements against corruption in the country have begun to question the lackadaisical behavior of the FCID with regard to the investigations into the $22 million in an account in Hong Kong. All these transactions have now been swept under the carpet. Minister, the media is represented by the people. Remember that you are not elected. You are selected. Therefore, you may not understand the importance or the value of the money that belongs to the people. The people have begun to speak of a meeting that you had without the sanction of the party leadership. A meeting that you are desperately trying to keep a secret. Do not shamelessly take cover and hide behind parliamentary privileges. The truth will prevail. Soon, your wealth and your worth will be revealed. Minister, you spoke about media freedom. This is the media freedom the people have that you don't want. Even the constant revelations by the media does not seem to stop or even curtail the corruption. It seems like the only strategy you follow is to delay, erase, and escape. State Minister of Power and Renewable Energy Ajit P. Pereira commented on the speculations of forming a caretaker government.
Suddenly it has become a headline on all newspapers to create the idea of forming a caretaker government. Meetings held between the current president and former president is reported on media in different versions. There were efforts to artificially highlight a political instability in the country. This requires the support of a majority of parliamentarians. Even if the joint opposition joins with all the SLFP members, a majority cannot be formed. Even to defeat the government through a no-confidence motion or to defeat the budget proposal in Parliament, votes of a majority is required. That means votes of 113 is required. Even if members of the SLFP and the SLPP is brought together, you cannot get 113. They are talking about a caretaker government to create political instability in the country and to destroy the economy and the judicial system of the country.
United National Party parliamentarian Hirunika Premachandra raised a question on privileges in Parliament today.
There is a court proceeding regarding me that took place. The judge had called the council representing the state and the council representing me and asked if they would like to settle the case. Nothing was discussed after that. Even when that had happened, there airs a news item stating that I have agreed to accept this mistake. This is a serious statement because it is only if I have done something wrong that I should accept it. The Hero News stations also airs this news in the same manner last night. And also on all main newspapers, the headline reads, Hirunika accepts her fault. I didn't accept any mistake. First, I must do something wrong. I won't accept this now and I won't accept this in the future. The brother of the head of Hiru killed my father. After he was handed down a death sentence, it can be said that they have a personal grudge against me. This morning in the news, there was a report that read 20 million given to Hirunika and others from the Monangamua welfare account. I have never in my life taken state funds. I am engaging in clean politics. Bharata Lakshman did not steal a cent of the people's or the state funds. I have not stolen money as well. I can state that without any fear. The FCID should summon me today or I will go to the FCID. Check any account, come to my house and investigate. Even if I was given money to my hand, there should be a record on that as well. Bring those individuals as well. It is not a hard task for me, who stood up against Duminda Silva during the reign of Mahinda Rajapaksa, to stand up against Duminda Silva when President Maithripala Sirisena and Ranil Wickremesinghe is here. Remember that. I will definitely file action against this. Also, there is a report that the appeal of Duminda Silva is going to come tomorrow. I must say that I don't go to leaders and fall at their feet and promise them media coverage, asking them to free my brother, promising them money, asking them to let him contest through the list at the next election. We have not said such things, but we know who did. We also know as to who they spoke with.
Well, still in local news, many residents in Colombo and other surrounding areas are affected by the adverse weather. A Gamada team set off today as well to look for those affected.
The team arrived at the Samudra Devi Hall under the purview of Sri Jayawardhanapura Kotte Municipal Council to visit the people who are temporarily seeking shelter there this morning. Members of the Department of Town and Country Planning of the University of Moratuwa accompanied the Gamada team today. Residents of Punjipanchikawatta, located beside the Heenala, close to the Kotiyagoda Bridge in Buthgamua Road, are seeking temporary shelter there. 200 people of 40 families sheltered in the Samudra Devi Hall.
We are in a state that we can't trust anyone. We have been living there since the time our parents were there. Now our children are also there. We tell the ministers to at least give houses on an installment basis. We will make the payments monthly.
The team also visited their houses with them. The residents charge that due to overflowing of the Heenala, around 40 families are inconvenienced. Although the ministers have made various promises from time to time, all of it have been unfulfilled promises.
They say the money that was given by the government is over. We actually don't want food. The source of our feet are ruined due to the flood water. We had to throw out all the sanitaries that we had. If we are coming back to live here, we have to buy new things and start all over again. We were told to wait for 2 months and then 6 months and then a year. I am 30 years old now. I have been waiting for a solution for all my life. They don't care even if we die as long as they make a living out of our misery.
Where we now cross over to Newsfirst, Deshan Gonawala for a special report.
In the face of stirring criticism that this government has failed to do any development projects, the Rajagiriya flyover often acted as the marquee project. But come to think of it, and when we look at the details, it is very apparent that the Rajagiriya flyover does have its shortcomings. As with any project done, even in the corporate sector or the public sector, an appraisal and a return of investment calculation needs to be done. However, when looking at the Rajagiriya flyover, it is apparent that the people still face problems. The main importance of having a transport sector that is developed is to improve the productivity and the efficiency of the people, to help them get on with their lives a little bit better. But as you can see here behind me, the Rajagiriya flyover, this particular area is showing a great deal of traffic congestion. It was reported that this particular flyover was supposed to extend a bit further than it was initially, but citing cost reductions, etc., the government made it a little bit shorter. This, however, led to a bottleneck situation, which makes the traffic situation just a bit worse. As you can see again, Rajagiriya is a heavily congested area, and being the fact that it is used by a large number of people from a residential area to travel to the commercial center, it is turning out to be a serious problem. Productivity is essential for the development of an economy, and given that we are now trying to cut corners and to make our dollars remain in the country, if we improve productivity, it will contribute a little bit more to ensure that the economy is in a decent place. These are some of the ideas expressed by some of the people who were traveling through Rajagiriya this morning.
පාලම දැම්ම කියලාත් ඉතින් වැඩිත් මේකක් නැහැ ඒ විදියම තියෙනවා වෙනසක් නැහැ කාලේ ඉවරයිනේ වරුවක් එහෙම පිටින්ම අපි පාරල් ලොකු වෙන්නේ නැහැ ලංකාවේ
අදපි හොඳයි නමුත් ට්‍රැෆික් එක නම් වෙනසක් නැහැ මේ හැමදාම තමයි
රාජගිරිය පහු වෙනකන් මේ වගේම තමයි ට්‍රැෆික් එක
දැන් ගුවන් පාලමෙන් මම නම් හිතන්නේ නැහැ කිසි තේරුමක් ඇති කියලා.
As you can see behind, particular picture has been circling these social media circles over the last day or so. It is of a prominent minister, the Minister of Education, taking a motorbike to work, citing the fact that there is serious traffic congestion on the way to Parliament. But this kind of luxury is not available to the average citizen. This kind of luxury, if it is available to the average citizen, the problem would be solved. But if a government minister, a prominent MP, is facing this problem, just imagine the plight of the average person. We urge the authorities who are in charge of the Rajagiriya flyover to come up with a solution. Now that the project has been done, we urge them to try and find a solution where we can help the congestion ease a bit more by adjusting the ways that the traffic flow. It is over to you.
Thank you very much, Deshan. Now moving on to more local news, the Colombo High Court today issued summons on Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka to appear before court on the 18th of this month. Now, although the minister was summoned to court today to provide evidence for a case against transactions of the radar company, he did not appear in court, stating that he had to attend parliamentary sittings.
The case filed at the High Court relating to the transactions of RADA against the former director of the company, Tiran Alas, and directors Salia Vikramasuriya, Jayantha Dias Samarsinghe and Emil Kanthan was taken up before the High Court Judge Vikum Kaluarachi. Minister Patali Champika Ranawaka and former President Secretary Lalit Veeratunga were due to present evidence in court today. Lalit Veeratunga accepted that the signature on the document submitted by Deputy Solicitor General Dileepa Piris, appearing on behalf of the Attorney General, belonged to him. Veeratunga said that the document contained the order from the former president to establish RADA. A photocopy of the document was presented to Parliament and the defendants objected to this. As he accepted that the signature on the document was authentic, court granted permission to call in evidence on the document. However, the High Court issued an order requiring the parties to act as per the evidence ordinance when presenting photocopies of documents to court in the future. The case was postponed to the 18th of this month.
The Presidential Commission investigating Sri Lankan Airlines, Sri Lankan Catering and Mihin Lanka Private Limited convened today.
It was revealed at the Commission today that the government-owned budget airlines Mihin Lanka was established on the 27th of October 2006 without a cabinet paper or cabinet approval. The witness stated that the cabinet paper regarding the establishment of the government-owned budget airline was principally established on the 1st of December 2006 and cabinet approval was only received on the 20th of December later that year. However, according to its letter of incorporation, Mihin Lanka was already established 2 months prior to cabinet approval. It was revealed by the witness that Mihin Lanka had a total debt of nearly 159 million rupees to LOLC and LOFC. Funds for the same value were issued by the Treasury in the form of a rupee loan. It was revealed at the Commission that these funds were used as a security deposit for aircraft instead of settling outstanding dues to LOLC and LOFC. Mihin Lanka's debt obligations also included a total of nearly 139 million rupees obtained from Lankaputra Development Bank. Concerns were raised at the Commission as to how a government bank that was formed in 2006 had sufficient financial capacity to fund as much as 139 million rupees. It was also revealed that Mihin Lanka had issued cumulative preference shares worth 300 million rupees to Lankaputra Development Bank without the approval of the General Treasury. The witness also stated that the dividend payable on these shares were estimated at 84.3 million rupees. However, a basis is yet to be established as to how Lankaputra arrived at these figures. It was also revealed that loans estimated at 1.2 billion rupees were obtained from Bank of Ceylon. These loans incurred a total interest burden of 310 million rupees. However, it was revealed that the Bank of Ceylon had agreed to waive off 137 million rupees along with penalty charges from its total due amount. It was stated by the chairman of the Commission that it was public funds utilized in such an inefficient manner. It was also revealed that in March 2007, a supplementary capital allocation of 250 million rupees was to be infused to Mihin Lanka by the Department of National Budget. However, the witness revealed that this allocation was made to the Presidential Secretariat instead of the relevant line ministry. It was revealed by the witness that since the inception, no financial evaluations or cash flow statements were prepared or presented by Mihin Lanka for the supervision of the Public Enterprise Department or Ministry of Ports and Aviation. Further, Mihin Lanka had not adopted any business module, contrary to the good governance principles issued by the Ministry of Finance, had not managed its financial resources efficiently, failed to meet statutory requirements, and caused heavy losses to the government and public funds.
President Maithripala Sirisena returned to the island this morning after concluding his visit to Seychelles.
President Maithripala Sirisena met with the newly elected President of the Maldives, Ibrahim Mohamed Soli, at the Bandaranaike International Airport in Katunaika. The meeting took place when the newly elected Maldivian President was en route to Singapore.
Back onto local news, a foundation stone was laid today for the construction of the Puhambugoda Sri Jinenandarama Temple in Dodangoda, Kalatura. The event took place under the patronage of the Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa.
Under the concept Sasunata Aruna Vavai Dagabai Gamai Pansalai, this program is towards spiritual development. This project will include the construction of 25 temples including Dagabas.
Why are the authorities tight-lipped on certain individuals who have been accused of serious wrongdoings? Who is protecting these people.
Gamini Sedara Senarath. During Mahinda Rajapaksa's tenure as president, it was this person who controlled all strategic points of the economy from his office. He was the former president's chief of staff, the chairman of the People's Bank, Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation and Litro Gas. Almost all state-owned enterprises were under his control, and many in the top brass of the past government were his friends. With the change of government in 2015, many allegations were directed towards him, and many civil organizations and anti-corruption activists lodged complaints against him at all law enforcement authorities appointed to arrest thieves. One of the main accusations faced by him is that he had allegedly acquired around 11.5 billion rupees from the temple trees during the presidential election in 2015. Allegations were also leveled against him in December 2014 for selling a vehicle of 20 million rupees bought by an individual named Sudat Rohana Lokumudali for 18 million rupees. It was also revealed that many individuals, including Gamini Senarath, had obtained money at will through the tender process called to acquire gas to the Litro Gas Company. A probe into this matter was launched in 2013. Documents relating to his illegal dealings were presented to the Department of Inland Revenue in 2015 following the appointment of the new government. He also has allegations levelled against him for fraudulently obtaining over 500 million rupees from Litro Gas and the Employees Provident Fund in the guise of a hotel construction project. However, a case is being heard at the Permanent High Court trial at Bar only against the allegation mentioned above. Probes into the other allegations of fraud and corruption seems to be in a crippled state. According to the news report aired by us, quoting social media on the 14th of November last year, the former Minister of Law and Order Sagala Ratnayaka was accused of protecting this individual. Civil activist and anti-corruption activist also levelled this allegation against the former Minister of Law and Order from time to time.
On Saturday, a very unusual event took place. The main office of the Chinese investment zone in Hambantota was opened. After opening this office, where did Ranil go to? He goes to Sagala's residence in Deniyaya. Dinner was served for 5 people at this Deniyaya residence. Who are these 5 people? One is Sagala, the other is Ranil, then the other is Dishan Gunasekara. He's also famous. Who is this Dishan Gunasekara?
He's the... And that is a wrap of Primetime News here on News First. For these stories in detail, you can log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. I am Shayan Jurampati. Good night and take care.